What did the frustrated cannibal do? He threw up his hands. Hey everyone, this is David Stark from Watcher Pass, and I'm here to talk to you about The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 7, Left Behind, which premiered on February 26, 2023. It continues The Last of Us story, and this is the 7th episode. I think there's only 9 episodes in this series, so there's only 2 left, so we're getting close to the end. This episode provides a lot more backstory on Ellie, and my hot take is, look, I think you should watch it. It's not my favorite episode, but there's a lot to like here. I love that it gives a lot of backstory to Ellie. I love that it's kind of a brighter overall episode and gives it an interesting look into some of the past. But it is a little bit slower until the end, and wow, what an ending it is. So I'm going to tell you a little more about the episode, a few things I liked and one thing I didn't like. So in The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 7, Left Behind, you have the direct follow-on from Season 1, Episode 6, where at the end of that, Joel got stabbed by one of the, I guess, raiders that were looking for things in the university that Joel and Ellie went to try to meet up with the Fireflies. At the end, Joel had to fight one of them, he got stabbed, and now we see that Ellie has dragged him into this abandoned house, and she's starting to take care of him, but Joel tells her to go. And as she's leaving, she starts to have memories of things that happened in her past. And we get a lot of backstory into what Ellie was like growing up and what it was like growing up behind the wall in her like safe zone area. So things I liked about this episode. The first is, look, you get some more backstory to Ellie. I thought it was really interesting. I liked kind of seeing what the world was like before they went on their adventure. It's still post-apocalyptic. It's not like all the way in the past, but you do get a very different sense of how she grew up and the things that she had to endure and the way that she was like raised. And it's a very kind of interesting look at what like a post-apocalyptic kind of childhood would be like. And spoilers, it's not fun. The second thing I really liked is this is a little bit of a brighter episode because it takes place in, I guess, a safe zone. You've got some other amenities that you don't normally have, and especially the unique aspects of this episode give you a look into a much different type of place, a place that has a lot more lights, has a lot more colors. It is very beautiful. A lot of these scenes are just wonderful. It's nice to have like this brighter episode in the middle of what is generally a fairly dark series. And the last thing I really loved is what an ending. This episode ends on just a fantastic note. It gives some necessary backstory to Ellie and also kind of ends with you wanting more. And also there's a few little touches. I'm not going to actually put notes on this. One of my favorite video games is referenced in this episode. And you also, I liked that there was a Sony Walkman that was used, which is a nice kind of like callback to the fact that Sony owns The Last of Us. So Sony owns the IP. So they must have had like a stipulation that you had to use a Sony product. So I like those little touches as well. Now, things I didn't love as much. It's a very slow episode, and normally I'm okay with that. I just was expecting it to kind of speed up now that we're moving into the last kind of third of the series. But this episode is pretty slow. A lot of it is Ellie and her friend just kind of like hanging out, not really doing much. It is all necessary. It really builds her character and builds some of the things that she has gone through. But there were parts in the middle where I was just kind of like waiting for the next thing to happen. And like I said, the episode ends really well. So, you know, it's worth the wait, but there is a little bit of wait in the middle. So that is The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 7, Left Behind. It premiered on HBO Max on February 26, 2023. And thanks so much for watching. If you liked this review, please like and subscribe to this channel. It helps me out a lot. Make sure all my new content goes straight to you. Thank you.